be honest. He hasn't endorsed a Republican since Romney. I don't think this moves any more voters than Hulk Hogan did.
Yeah, but we have these undecided voters, right? We have these people that can't decide if they're going to go and vote or not.
He said a Republican since Mitt Romney.
I was like, who has been the nominee since Romney?
Since Mitt Romney is
It's
Donald
just
Trump.
It's been Donald Trump.
I haven't
It's
seen him
been
in high
Donald
profile
Trump for
Senate
100
races or
years.
governor's races.
I mean, he hasn't endorsed Donald Trump. is what you're
He
saying.
has not endorsed Donald Trump, is what you're saying. And not only that, he's been outspoken about the parallels that he sees between the MAGA movement and his childhood in Nazi-dominated Austria. He said explicitly, and you can smirk all you want, go back and watch his own words on this network to Dana Bash, that January 6th reminded him of Kristallnacht. And he issued a 12-minute video warning about the dangers of a hate-filled movement in March of 2023. I think it's not a surprise, given who he has been and the communities that he's embraced over the last several decades. And believe me, I disagree with Arnold Schwarzenegger on a lot of politics. But fundamentally, like he says, I'm an American first and a Republican second. And it's very clear to him who the choice is that can best give us an opportunity to become the country that he so loves.
Yeah, and I would...
Well, to become the country that he so loves, or that she so loves, or that they so love, is impossible. This country was built on the premise that they would have slaves, and that was woven into the laws of the fabric of this country. And we are at a point now where we all understand what has happened as a result of being racist, and where it's gotten us and all of that kind of stuff. But racism still prevails. And we still have black people who get up and argue against the beauty of this democracy, when the beauty of this democracy has been very negligent to blacks and very abusive toward blacks. And we can't just accept our place in their society, or this is what we're going to get forever. Kamala Harris has accepted that. She said, we good. We ready to turn the page. This is the problem. I don't care who endorses Kamala Harris. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a person who's ready to turn the page. So this guy right here is obviously one of the black people in the country who's ready to turn the page. This dude here, he's a Kamala supporter, obviously. I mean, this is CNN. Come on. I mean, we know what we got here. But what I'm trying to say is, this is acts of desperation. You're going to see things in these last few days that you ain't never seen before. You're going to hear things out of celebrities that you never know who might endorse. Hell, they might get George Bush himself to come out and endorse. He's a very reserved, retired, quiet former president. He don't get caught up in none of this. Even in McCain and what's the other one? Well, I guess they didn't know. They all openly didn't like him. The Republican Party been at war with itself, which is probably why it made it so easily for Trump to take it over. But gosh, it's so mind-boggling to me. And as soon as I have the opportunity to absorb and process everything that's going on, I will never look at this country again. And I don't think that our ballots should read the same way, because the Republicans and the Democrats are shook. And Donald Trump has messed them up so bad in the head right now that they've locked in a way that they never had before publicly. And they're not going to be able to go back. Not with me.
Say, as a fellow immigrant, I'm also someone that chose America as my chosen country. Arnold Schwarzenegger is that too. And I think sometimes when you come to a country and you buy, the red, white, and blue and the stars and stripes and the people from anywhere can make it if they just work hard enough thing, you have this faith in American patriotism and the America that you love. And I would say I'm an American first, and then I'm currently a Democrat. I think I'm a liberal. And he's an American first and a Republican. And I think the thing is that we can really see that this one character, who we've now had, as we've said, for 3 different campaign seasons, as the same figure for the Republican Party, is just not what America is supposed to stand for. It's not the country he bought into and moved to. It's not the country I bought into and moved to. And I think it's a country that we really need to move.
That was all. Well, I think it's kind of nice for her to have spoken on that point so clearly, because the good thing is that she did have the choice, and we didn't. That's the thing. We did not. We weren't brought here, or came here of our own free will. So it is nice to be able to look through a catalog of countries and decide on one because you feel that'd be the best country for your opportunities and all of that kind of stuff. Because we wouldn't have chose America back then. But I just clearly let you know that they are completely in denial of the fact that a significant amount of the population, Black Americans, are due some sort of justice, some sort of fair treatment. So I mean, if you're not going to give Black people no reparations and you're not going to give them no special opportunities so they can catch up, if you're just not going to do that, but you're also going to attack them, then say you don't owe them nothing, it's been too long. You see where I'm going with this, you guys? Arnold or none of the rest can get us to vote for Kamala because Kamala is anti-Black. Kamala is anti-Black. Trump is too, but at least all the Blacks know it. They don't all know Kamala's anti-Black. Very dangerous place.
Well said. It doesn't matter at all. Zero influence.
But the message is so consistent across the board. It doesn't matter if it's coming from a celebrity or a 4-star general or whatever it is. I mean, it's a pretty consistent message about what a lot of people from all different walks of life see as the future for this country under Donald Trump. Wouldn't you agree?
No,
And me either. Shit, no. They want you to look at the person and see who you'd rather run into in a grocery store, or who you'd rather hang out with in a barbecue, or whatever. Trump wins some folks, Kamala wins others. A lot of these men in this country who are just locked in is because their wives are bossing them around or they're fawning over Kamala. These older dudes looking at Kamala like she's some kind of hot chick. She ain't. She'll lock your ass up. She's an attorney general of police. She does not do anything, has not done anything that's ever benefited Black people. And she's been in politics through the locking up of American citizens for quite some time. I just think it comes down to the point of where Kamala Harris need to just break it down and be honest about who she is and what she is and where she's going with this, because we don't know. We got a war going on over there that needs to stop immediately. And if I was her, I'd be letting people know, people with hearts, people who know what fair treatment is, I would let them know we're going to put an end to this. And I'm begging Joe Biden to do it right now, and he won't. But as soon as I take over, as soon as I win, as soon as we get these results, that's what I'm leaning toward. Shutting down the killing. People are dying. Y'all ain't seen the news? Y'all don't see what's going on over there? And they sitting here trying to keep her in office, keep her administration active. Are you crazy? With a current genocide going on? She ignoring Black people. And her biggest mantra is abortion. She's into killing everything. Wars, babies, it don't make no difference. If a young lady gets in a situation in 2024 in the United States of America and decides that she cannot carry a pregnancy the full term and would have to abort it for whatever her reasons are, and if she's in a relationship and her husband make or mate or significant other, none of that involves none of us. Nobody don't need Kamala Harris on the loudspeakers bullhorning that shit when we are at a whole different place in this country other than abortion. I mean, don't get me wrong. That might be one of the freedoms or whatever you guys want to call it. But in a civilized country, I just can't imagine expecting somebody to, at a young age, because that's usually what it is, or for a medical reason, to have to figure that out without knowing that there are systems in place already and laws that have already been hashed out. That makes America, I mean, we are in 2024 and this goddamn government still got women all stressed out and feeling like they being oppressed because they can't go have an abortion. I mean, that just don't even make no goddamn sense. We got the money, we got the technology. We need to make sure some shit happen. And the same people who are against abortions is the same people who would never in their life ever relinquish human testing and all how far we've come in our medical fields by testing on live humans, and y'all ain't that goddamn compassionate. And for the people who are trying to, I don't even have an argument or an understanding of the people who are pro-abortion the way they are. It's like they just like relish in it or some shit. It doesn't make any sense to me. I do understand that there's a need, but it's one of those things that, god damn, if that's all Kamala Harris got to run on, let's say she's right, but that's it? Are we going to hang our hat on abortion for Kamala? Because she ain't got nothing else?
Look, I mean, I think you're talking about right now, again, on the average, which is unbelievable to say this, Donald Trump is leading nationally right now on average.
That's why we're having this panel today, folks. I'm sorry. That's why everybody's convened. If she was up, they'd be somewhere else doing some other shit. But this is all hands on deck, folks. Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Republicans, this is the road I've been going down. You guys see, and if they can pull, but they can't, but they could pull George Bush out of it. It's something going on, and the Republicans and Democrats both know about it, and they on board. And it just pisses me off because they work together so goddamn beautifully. Do you guys see this? The Republicans and Democrats, they just become falling in line, and these Democrats are getting a gift. When these Republicans coming over and helping them on the campaign trail. But any Democrats who are paying attention and who have been paying attention, the rhetoric sometimes needs to meet the campaign, and it hasn't always. The Democrats have deceived us into believing that we were going and campaigning and running against the devil in George Bush, in Mitt Romney, in John McCain, in Sarah Palin. It just sounds like a whole cast of Batman characters. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds. That's the way they hype them up. It's like a big old cast of Batman characters. Ooh, and it's scary. Well, now the Batman character to end all Batman characters has jumped out, and they don't know how to deal with it, and they even need help from the other bad. They get the other bad guys to team up with Batman. This is not good, you guys. What's going on here? We need to pay attention. It's some shit going on, and as soon as this election ends, when Trump wins, then you'll see reality set in. And Project 25 lie didn't work, and you know what I'm saying. The abortion issue, that didn't work. They're gonna really have to rebuild the party if they ever plan on winning another election, because I would imagine with Trump and some influence on the Supreme Court, if he doesn't plan on staying in power or extending his presidency, he should start working with the court. And shit, who knows how Congress might come out. If he ends up with a supermajority, things could get real fucked up. But it would get a Democrats opportunity to remember when they had supermajorities, they squandered the shit with a bunch of LGBT plus shit. Nothing wrong with LGBT plus people, but we're running the country here. And I just think that black people have as big a stake in this country as LGBT people, and we were in line first. They shouldn't have cut in front of us, Obama. That wasn't cool. Now you need us.
Majority, or at least a plurality.
Based on what polls?
Based on
Real Clear Politics average.
Popular votes or electoral vote? Electoral vote or popular vote?
Popular vote right now.
I don't think
National.
we want to fight over the
I think people should just go check online and we can get an answer.
It's fair to.
That's something else you'll hear a lot too out of them. We should just go with the popular vote. We should just go with the popular. I'm gonna tell you something. We did just go with the popular vote, and we didn't have these swing states. Everybody got all these states that are red and blue that are gonna vote the way they're gonna vote. And nothing you can do. Some are closer than others. But this thing that we got going with these swing states, we need to go ahead and do the popular vote. And people think, oh yeah, the Democrats always. It'll be different. It'll be very different because a lot of people in states like California, a lot of people in states like New York, you know what I'm saying? These are states that have been colored red or colored blue Texas, you know what I'm saying? But a lot more people are disinterested because they really do kind of wave the white flag and figure out, fuck it, this state's blue, it's going to be blue. But if it was in play as far as the popular vote goes, you'd see different numbers coming out of these states, and they know it. So let them go ahead and push for the popular vote, thinking it'll benefit them. I'm really shocked that a man in Donald Trump, coming from a reality TV show, which is why I'm engaged at more now than I've ever been in my life, coming from a reality TV show, and in 3 consecutive campaigns has been able to garner more of the Republican vote than anybody else they got. I mean, just be able to wipe their party out. And his numbers are not impressive nationally, but individually they are. Can you imagine if any one of us had about 45 to 47% of a base, people who would vote for you pretty much no matter what? You know, I mean, that's pretty significant. No Democrat has that. Kamala has those kind of numbers when you include all the extra help she's getting, the independents, the Republicans who have jumped ship. I mean, he has a base that has been as consistent and solid over 3 election cycles, 3 presidential election cycles. No one's done that. That's extraordinary in itself, and it will change a democracy, because maybe his base, maybe his people, maybe that small, what seems small nationally, but it ain't small individually, to be that locked in on a person, could refuse to be governed by another president. What if they say, no, he ain't our president? Trump's our president. Well, he can only be president, so we don't care. For us, we want him 4 times, 5 times till he die. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to really realize this man like built a movement, and it seems like you only like to talk about a movement. You like when it's something you agree with and something you like. That's how I've always been raised. I hear about a movement. Yeah, a movement is usually good, but sometimes it isn't. And he has a movement, and we have a panel convening to respond to his movement.
Say that this is a race within the margin of error at the popular
That's
vote level.
what matters
and
at this point.
At the battleground state level. To your point, that means it could go either way. But
It can go either way. The point is, this Arnold Schwarzenegger or Liz Cheney or anybody else that wants to make an argument against the MAGA movement or Donald Trump, they're fighting against almost half the country.
No, but if every celebrity came out for
No,
Donald Trump,
nobody
and every
cares.
single
Nobody cares.
Democrat came out
Go
for
ahead.
Donald
Let me-
Trump,
I want-
Nobody
it would matter,
cares.
guys.
The thing that struck me about Arnold Schwarzenegger's endorsement was actually not who he chose. I think about, when I read it, I'm reminded actually of my grandmother, oddly enough, who was born in 1918, a black woman. She was 2 years old when the 19th Amendment was ratified. She was 47 when the Voting Rights Act was passed that guaranteed her vote. On Inauguration Day, she will turn 107. I think about the votes that she's had to cast in her lifetime, and at no point, and at very rare points, has there ever been anybody that she fully agreed with. And there were probably 2 candidates that she was choosing between the lesser of 2 evils almost all of the time.
So I hate when black people say that lesser of 2 evils stupid ass shit. It's they're both evil. There's no goddamn daylight between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris for black people. Dude, can you just accept that? Or you might like her hair better, or you might like the way she can do a southern accent, you know, just on call. You might like that shit. But what this man here is saying is totally ridiculous. And that's what we need to get away from. That kind of talk. As black people, we should know better.
Our vote is not a gift that we give candidates. Our vote is not a present that we present to them. It does not indicate that we agree with everything that they say. It is a strategic choice about whom we wish to have a fight about the future of this country. And I think what Schwarzenegger is saying, and what most people are saying, and again, I would encourage everybody to watch the MSG rally, watch Trump's speech, and watch Kamala Harris' speech at the Ellipsis. Who do you want to have a fight about the future of this country with? And who do you think will allow you to have a reasonable argument, who will listen to your opinion and then do what they think is best, having consumed all of those opinions, and accept the results that as they are determined? I don't think it.
Nah. You can't say that kind of shit and think. Obviously, in most people in the country, even probably some Trump supporters would agree that if you just walked up to one of those two, but I disagree. I think that Kamala Harris has been more, or had the ability to trick us into believing that she might be, more open and more, but she's not. She's not. She doesn't even, and it wouldn't even be called open. Half the time, we don't even know what she really stands for. You know what I'm saying? But this guy is trying to say like, oh yeah, she'd be open to your ideas or open to your thoughts, or well, most of our ideas and most of our thoughts are wrapped around that genocide that's going on in Israel right now. I mean, in Israel, my goodness, that Israel is causing at the behest of the United States. That's the kind of president we want to listen to us. You got to change course. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this was going to happen or not, but if you didn't know and you see it happening, you got to be like, put the brakes on it. No, hell no. I can't get elected with a genocide going on and I'm supporting it, because that's what she's doing. She's supporting it by not stopping it. This is no you have control. If somebody hook you up to a lie detector and say, if you wanted to, could you end this war in genocide? War. It's not a war. It's a genocide. It is. These people ain't fighting back. And yeah, I can't believe that she's. And I think that's going to really be that. I think it was a really close election. I do. But I didn't think that this genocide would have the impact, because I really thought the country didn't give a fuck. I thought they didn't care. They do. They do. And that gives me hope. I'm happy to know that people in this country really do care, and they can't pull out millionaires whose lives aren't affected, and actually who want the government not to change it for anything to never change, because it insulates them. They're safe. They're taken care of. What if a government came in or the government changed in a way where rich people were targets and rich people were being robbed and stolen from, and the police didn't really kind of care much? This country would be like, oh, hell no, we can't have this. We have to be a country that takes care of our rich. That's what we are. We are not a country that takes care of our poor. That's not us.
Anybody can reasonably say that about Donald Trump. He won't even accept the results of an election that he lost.
Can I throw one more celebrity into the mix? But because the message is really interesting. Listen to this.
Come on, boys. Let's make America great again. It's your turn, buddy.
Before you cast your vote in this election, think about how it'll impact the people you care about the most.
Daddy!
Remember, you can vote any way you want, and no one will ever know.
Do your patriotic duty.
You bet I did, brother.
What happens in the booth stays in the booth.
Now, you a damn shame if you have to tell people, shh, you don't have to tell nobody. It's just between me and you. Or it's just between me. I won't even tell my wife. They're telling you to just take one for the team. For no reason, just vote for this lady. Just trust us. That's what they're saying. Okay. We know we couldn't convince you. Okay. We know our campaign was weak. I know. But can you please just vote for us? Just vote for trust us. Trump's really, really bad. Can you please just vote for us? That's what the fuck that sound like. That would give most people pause, I would hope, to not vote for her. If you have not early voted, you should vote for Jill Stein. You should vote for Donald Trump. You should vote for some goddamn body else. Stay home. But do not cast a vote for Kamala Harris if this is what it's come to. We can't do this.
That's the voice of George Clooney.
Well,
but he's sending a message to a lot of white men there.
I mean, but very well made commercial. A lot of people might not know that is his voice. That's first. Secondly, as a politician, certainly we take great joy in having celebrities and famous people. I mean, I am a witness to that. as a politician myself, and I was on 2 presidential campaigns with Senator Bernard Sanders, and when celebrities came and the crowd is going crazy, but it's really more to the faithful of that person than to the people outside. But it does make us feel good. You definitely feel good. Now, will it move 1 or 2 voters here or there? Maybe not. I don't necessarily think celebrities move voters at all. However, it feels good.
Yeah,
and you're the one.
There's a
getting
message though about
Yeah.
the kind of quiet vote. Not
Sure.
we've been hearing
Yeah.
a lot about it when it comes to women. They're trying to say there's some guys out there.
They're just saying it's a whole goddamn country. They trying to say we're a bunch of scared, coward-ass motherfuckers and we need to go in the booth and close our eyes and check off the Kamala vote and just put our put our faith in Kamala and just stand behind her apron and let her protect us and argue and bitch and complain like we didn't vote for her, but we did. What kind of weak-ass country are we? What is CNN asking us to do? And MSNBC and Fox too, all of them. What are they asking us to do? They're asking us to permit Kamala to be our permit Donald Trump. We need to remember that if we listen to what is said in the Constitution, how this country is supposed to be run, it really is supposed to be the people. And we're not supposed to be brainwashed and tricked. But we are. It's a part of our political system. But to me, the one who's doing the most brainwashing and the most tricking this election, Donald Trump has been as consistent as a person can be over 3 presidential cycles because he ain't lost that base. Even the people who are called themselves never Trumpers, we've had folks jump on his little bandwagon over there, but his base is a solid base. Oh, the January 6th, that's where I get off. Well, some of them done got back on. They ain't got off. Kamala don't have that, folks. She has CNN and MSNBC, and all she got to do is get up out of a chair, and if someone else comes over and sits in it, then they're the new Kamala. They're the new Democrat. They're the new Obama. They're the new Hillary. We don't have somebody who has transformed politics like Trump in our lifetimes. Maybe in history. I mean, he says some shit sounds so outlandish and wild, and now he's put statements out into the universe and they've come back to be true. A lot of them.
Just about the 4th or 5th, people don't need to know your vote ad that we're seeing. A lot of them are arranged towards women, and understandably so. But I think it's like, what is wrong with your party if what you're saying is, don't tell anyone your vote, it'll be okay, secretly vote for the person you know is best, but don't tell your friends, don't tell your church group, don't tell your bros, don't tell your husband, because you're in danger if you do. I think it's a sad state of affairs that we're in a position where this is what we're doing.
Yep. And it's a sad state of affairs because this is what we're doing. And it's not a sad state of affairs that we have to go into a booth.
Be honest, he hasn't endorsed Republicans since Romney.
And lie about who we're voting for. That's not the part. The sad part is that people tell you to do that. Fellow Americans, just go in there and lie and close your eyes. Don't tell nobody. And if your wife asks you who you voted for, don't tell her or lie. Tell her who you know she likes. I mean, it's like, good Lord. I guess if that's what it's come to, folks. But Arnold, King Tut, you know what I'm saying? I can't think of nobody who could vote for Kamala Harris who would make me vote for Kamala Harris. I know that that ain't in her heart and it ain't in my heart. We don't link up. I don't feel the love. And I don't feel no love from Donald Trump. But Donald Trump better be ready for a battle, because we got a whole lot of people who dislike that man so much that they telling you to vote and not tell. Well, we about to see how much y'all dislike him, because we about to get it rolling and see what kind of president he's going to be. Because we didn't get anything out of Biden. Was a closed presidency. It didn't seem like he was opening his doors and listening to the general public and population either. Maybe we'll have an opportunity with Trump. Shit, maybe we won't, but we will still be here, folks, because the propaganda of 2025 is bullshit, and they know it, and you don't even hear it. They might have mentioned it in this table here, but I doubt it. But if it was real, you think it would have come up at least 18 times like it does when Kamala's on stage. But it's just not the truth. And like, comment, share, please subscribe, and share these videos with your friends. And we'll see you on the next one.